I would like to outline my plan for the age of fission. We are in the age of fission, and the age of fission requires a plan, a social plan, an economic plan. And in front of my painting of a very well-known photograph of Che Guevara as he was assassinated, murdered by his captors in the jungles of where was that? My plan. And it's a 2-point plan. And I would say it's a 5-year, 50-year plan. 5-year, 50-year, meaning that certain things must occur within a 5-year period to establish the 50-year plan. And this is what I thought. I woke up this morning. I thought, oh, I have a plan. I have a plan. I'm not only on a mission, I have a plan. And my plan would be to create, we are in the age of fission. The age of fission is the most dangerous age in the history of all of existence on this planet. Short of a meteor hitting us, we are in the age of fission. And the plan that I would like to, that I would implement is a social, economic, environmental plan. And it's a 2-point plan. Very simple. 2-point. Number 1, plan. The first part of this plan is to create, to initiate the largest, greatest engineering project ever mounted in the history of the cosmos, most likely. Well, for human beings anyway. There are probably greater engineering plans in the cosmos. But the plan would begin with organizing the greatest engineering project in the history of mankind, which is to close all nuclear plants, to radically shift our position away from this deadly energy. It would require the closure of over 400 nuclear plants over a period of 50 years. It would require virtually all the resources, the economic resources available to us. And the part 2 of this plan, the engineering obviously will require the greatest effort by humanity ever. And it would include, it would actually fit in to all what we understand to be society, what we understand to be civilization, which could be a great idea, that all the infrastructures for the civilization is there. We've just not had the leadership. We've not had the leadership among the self-aggrandizing, the selfishness on this planet has led us into this position called the age of fission, into the age of fission. It's based on selfishness. It's trying to split the atom to create more atoms. It's part of the erroneous concept, more is better. If you have 1 atom and you can make 2, I guess you have like 2. 2 is better than 1. Not when it comes to nuclear fission. So the plan would be to organize the greatest engineering project ever. And it would be financed by the wealth of the 1%. Obviously, the people that brought us this need to finance this. And since 1% of the population on this planet has over 80% of the wealth, 80% of the wealth plus the 99% of the brilliance that is humanity, and what is among this humanity, there is all levels of effort that can be applied through the 99% of the population, which will be in place, which is in place, which is willing. It doesn't have the leadership. And the dismantling of the 1% of wealth that is now controlling all activities on this planet, because the population has acquiesced to the notions, and it's complex. You can go into why we are in the position that we're in. I have always said it originates out of the divine right of kings, which was established In the so-called Egyptian era, some 4,000 years ago or longer, 5,000 years ago, under Akhenaten, Namur, and then his progenitors. He was before Akhenaten, but I think Akhenaten was the guy who really nailed this coffin shut for us, the divine right of kings. And this would be the plan, to create the largest engineering project to shut down all nuclear activity, that is, research facilities, eliminate all the bombs, eliminate all the nuclear plants on this planet within a 5-year period. It would be designed, this plan, this engineering plan would be designed within 5 years, and it would last over 50 years. That is my thought. Maybe it can be faster. I don't know if it could be, but it might even be faster. And it would be financed by the 1% who actually brought us this annihilation and devastation. My 2-point plan in the age of fission, and Fukushima, as I said, is the main event. The main event that has propagated, has demanded of us that we act accordingly, that we are now seeing a nuclear plant that has 3 full core meltdowns. No one knows where these cores are. They're gone. They're creating devastation into the earth. And we can no longer afford to sit by. And I have a plan. And people with their own genius and input can implement this plan, create the details, but the guts of this is to have the greatest engineering project ever, to actually rid ourselves of the nuclear devils that have polluted and is polluting our sacred environment, our ecology, our biology, all life. And this would be a 2-point plan, and I think it makes sense. It can be done to begin to apply our individual and collective genius to this humongous problem that we have. And the alternatives will rise to the surface very quickly. The idea of free energy, not nuclear that can't be metered because it's too cheap. We know what it's going to require 80% of the wealth on this planet to finance this engineering project. And that is my plan. That's what I'd instigate. Hello, Shay.